Good morning and happy Friday. Starting a couple minutes early here, and there's a reason I'm in a kind of a darker place. No lights on. I got a hat on, and I'll get into that here in a minute. Reminder: September is Suicide Prevention Month. Make sure you check on your battle buddies. Yeah, it's been a tough week, and I got to be honest with you guys. I almost canceled this morning's show. I wasn't going to do it. Thought about maybe doing it later. I got to get on the road here in a little bit, and then I was like, no, I can't do that. I can't just cancel the show because I'm feeling a certain way. But tragedy hits home, and I'm just going to start this off. But tragedy hit close to home this week on several fronts. This week in the area that I live in, we made national news and not in a good way. Deadly York County shootout that left 3 officers and the suspect dead. Three police officers and the suspects were killed, and 2 other law enforcement officers were wounded in an ambush Wednesday afternoon at a York County farm, 10 minutes from where I'm sitting from doing this. One of the officers that were involved in that was a family friend of ours. He is in critical condition as of last night. That was the last update that we have. So that was the first one. The next one, Rich, good morning. T-Dog, good morning. Appreciate you. The next one was hard. And I'm going to bring on a close personal friend of mine and a mutual friend of this other one. But the veteran community yesterday suffered a huge blow and the loss of a brother, a dear friend, Mr. Boone Cutler. And I'm going to bring on Doc Malachias, who was a friend of mine. And I guess it'd help if I unmuted his mic. Start first and foremost, but. Doc, I appreciate you jumping on with us this morning. Yesterday was a huge blow to the Warfighter community. I know you were close to Boone. I met Boone. I'll tell you a quick story. I met Boone in Vegas at an event in 2012, and you want to talk about a guy that was larger, a giant among men.
He's a juggernaut.
He could talk when he needed to, but he was kind of reserved and quiet. But he had I would say, a heart of gold, and he just. You want to talk about such a huge loss to the veteran community. I'm still at shock, man. Like I learned a lot from that guy. He kind of coined the phrase "warfighter."
Yep.
And, he'd authored several books. More importantly, he authored the Spartan Pledge, which I'm going to have you, if you don't mind, we'll do here in a minute. But what are you got stories on Boone? I mean, what are you going to miss? Man, I can't even.
Oh, so Boone's counsel. Like Boone was like probably one of the wisest among all of us, right? And he could talk in any direction, like politics, religion, just overall stuff, like military history, military tactics, psyop. I mean, all of it. He could just talk about everything. But he was really, really wise, and he never just kind of made. Like you could always see he was calculating the thought process when you would talk to him. Like he was actually ingesting what you said.
Yeah.
But he was a very studious person. Like he studied everything. Like he didn't want to be just a grunt, right? Like he wanted to be a mind as well. And Boone for me, like, and I guarantee you there's going to be thousands, and I'm not exaggerating when I say thousands of people with the same story, where I was getting ready to transition from the military. I was going through a medical review board and I was getting medically retired. My career was ending early that I didn't want it to end. And I wasn't prepared, right? And so Boone took it upon himself. For some reason, he saw something in me and was like, hey, dude, every Saturday, because he had that Saturday morning radio show at the time.
Yeah.
He was like, every Saturday morning, you're going to call me and you're going to do the transition report. We're going to go through how your week was, your wins, your losses, all the failures, everything. We're going to talk about all of it. And I would do that. And then after he would get done on the radio, he would call me back personally and just be like, all right, man, so let's work on this. And he would just give me things to do.
Yeah.
Right. But he was a big reason. Like when I retired and I released my book, I rewrote the book and I added a chapter. I didn't rewrite the whole book, but I added an entire chapter on how to successfully transition by having a military mentor and then having a civilian mentor that's plugged into your local communities. Right. And it was because of that process with Boone. Right. I can say that if it wasn't for Boone, if it wasn't for the Spartan Pledge, I probably wouldn't be standing here today. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, he had a lot of little like kitschy phrases that he kind of just, he coined them and made them.
Yeah.
And I think probably my favorite one, other than the Spartan Pledge itself, was a warfighter without a mission is a dead warfighter. A warfighter with a mission is a deadly warfighter.
Yeah.
Get a mission. And so for everybody, I would say right now, like everybody who's sitting out there right now, just kind of at a loss, not sure what to do, where to go with this, what they're going to do. Like I would say, take a breath, take a knee. Like Boone would say, come in, take a knee, right? And refocus, redirect your energies in a positive way and do something to honor the legacy that he created for us and make sure that we're pushing that legacy forward, because it's really about furthering the cause of the warfighter. So you didn't know about this, but I'm about to put together a petition. I want September 18th to be the Spartan Pledge Day nationally.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be putting that together soon. I'll be releasing it. I'll send that to you so you can help if you want to help promote that.
Absolutely. 100%.
So when Boone got out, I don't know I can't give you the story verbatim, so I'm gonna give you the very short version of it. When Boone got out, he was, couch surfing and he was going through a lot of stuff and he was talking to a bunch of buddies and they lost a guy that he served with to suicide. And him and a bunch of his buddies got together and said, we got to do something about this. And he authored the Spartan Pledge with them, right? The Spartan Pledge was not Boone's. After Boone wrote it, he decided he would never make money on the pledge. It got donated to the Spartan Pledge nonprofit, and it became a piece for the community. And his goal and his dream has always been that the warfighter community would take the mantle and pick it up and go with it, right? Not that he didn't want to have to do anything with it. He wanted to be the one to spark it, but then he wanted to be able to sit back and watch us take something and do with it, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of us have, absolutely a lot of us have. And I would say that, I've pushed, Soldier Heart has pushed, Sabo has pushed, Frey Dog has pushed, you've pushed, and there's countless others, right? Gonzo, like there's a whole ton of people that have done this.
So many people
Yeah.
in the community. Like you can't go on social media, right? If you're part of the veteran community in any form or facet of it, you can't, like, I had to take a break because it was so emotional yesterday. Like you get on social media and like the entire feed is Boone.
I went home yesterday. I couldn't do it.
And I so here's a picture that I'm posting right now of me and Boone. And this was in 2021 in Dallas, Texas, at a Gallant Few event.
Oh, Carl Munger. Oh yeah.
Yeah, down there. And I hadn't seen Boone in a while. I'd talked to him kind of via text, and I wasn't close to Boone like a lot of you guys were. Like, but here's what hit me so hard is I thought of him often, and it was always like, I never wanted to bother because I knew how busy he was, and I was like, I'll just see him the next time, next at the next event or whatever, and I learned very quickly yesterday, and this I'm calling myself out on this, is that you can't take things for granted.
Yeah.
Because
Boone really enjoyed, and I think we should all start doing this, is Boone really enjoyed sending voice memos to people.
Oh yeah.
He wouldn't text, he wouldn't email, he would send you a voice memo to then let you know that he was thinking about you, he was proud of you, whatever. And I really liked, so if it hadn't been for Boone, I probably wouldn't have pushed my music as hard as I'm pushing it. Boone, when I was still active duty and he was still on the radio, like I sent him one of my older songs and he was like, holy crap. And he blew it over the radio. Like he just started playing it all the time. And every time I would get a new song that I would write or I would record, I'd send it to him first. Like he's one of my first people to get to listen to it. And he would give me feedback. He's like, holy crap, this is amazing, or whatever he thought about it. But music was kind of like my outlet. Like, you know what I mean? Like his was like talking in front of people. It's like being there for people. Mine was music and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, we started this movement where like Soldier Hard started the whole process where he would do a show, and then in the middle of the show or at the end of the show, he would do a Spartan pledge, and he would invite veterans to come up on the stage and do that. And I decided to do that as well. But go ahead.
Let me stop right there. And here, let me point something out here real quick before I bring this up. And this is very important because we're talking about the Spartan Pledge. We're about to do the Spartan Pledge. Boone did not take his own life. So I want to make sure that
no, he had a medical condition.
He had a medical condition, and that's what it was. So first and foremost, I want to put that out there. I think that's important. The Spartan Pledge, Doc. Do you mind?
No, so yes, the Spartan Pledge. Before this is how I always do it, right? So the Spartan Pledge is an oath because we as warfighters, we live our lives by oaths and by promises, right? And so the Spartan Pledge is an oath that we take with each other. Right. So whoever takes it, like if you don't have, like, say you're in a group of people and you don't know anybody there, right? Yeah. If you take the Spartan Pledge, at that point, you have to get the phone number of somebody in that group that you took it with, so that you have a battle buddy, right? Because the whole purpose of it is to recreate a battle buddy network that we lost when we left the military. And it gives you purpose, right? So the Spartan Pledge is 2 sentences. I will not take my own life by my own hand until I talk to my battle buddy first. And what that does is it tells the person who's suffering, I'm making a promise to you that while I'm in my suck, I'm going to pick up the phone. I'm going to ask for help, whether it's a text message or a phone call, right? And I'm going to understand that not everybody can respond and answer the phone right off the bat, right? People have lives. I sleep a weird schedule. Some people work nights, things like that. So if you make a call or you send a text, you have to be patient and wait for them to get back to you, right? Because you're giving them, what you're saying is, look, I'm struggling right now. I'm thinking about doing this, and I'm giving you the opportunity to talk me off the ledge.
Yeah.
Right? Now, here's the deal. And as part of that, right, not everybody is equipped to talk someone off the ledge, but everybody's equipped to care enough to help get them to someone who can. Right? And so even if you're not the one that can go, hey, man, you know, and give them all the wise words they need to hear, you are going, hey, I'm on my way over. Let's go find someone to talk to. So you can do that part, right? The second sentence is, my mission is to find a mission and support my warfighter family. So while you're waiting on that response, on that call back, on that text back, right? It's your job at that point to get up off your ass, excuse my language, go out, find something to do to benefit or bless someone else, right? Because we found, even psychologically, right, once you divert your thought process to something positive from something negative, 9 times out of 10, and I'm not exaggerating that's 9 times out of 10, those feelings where you were in the moment kind of subside, drop, go away. Right. So by the time someone calls you back, most of the time it's like, hey, man, I was struggling. I'm doing a little better. Can we still get together and have a cup of coffee or something? Right. And so at that point, so I'm going to go ahead and recite the Spartan Pledge, and I'm going to say it in a way that people can respond if they want to take it. You can post a link to my Facebook page. You can, I don't care like how we want to do that, but you know, if you take it, reach out to me or reach out to Adam, and we will square you with somebody. Okay. So it starts with, I will not take my own life by my own hand until I talk to my battle buddy first. My mission is to find a mission and support my warfighter family. So for anybody that took that right now, or anybody who's listening, you don't have to be, that's the beauty of this, is you don't have to be a warfighter to take that oath, right? Because if you're someone who loves a warfighter, if you're a first responder or whatever, and you're willing to say, I'm willing to stand in the gap, you take that oath with us, that means you're willing to accept that phone call, right? So anybody who took it, whether you're a warfighter or not a warfighter, you're now a part of that warfighter family. But that feeling that you have in the pit of your stomach right now, that's what Boone calls purpose. That means you have something to do. Get up off your ass and go do it. Yeah. And if you don't know what it is, just go do a bunch of things until you figure it out. So, but the Spartan Pledge is like I said, if you took it, you just made a promise. You cannot take your own life until you talk to somebody first. You have to reach out. You have to give someone the opportunity to love on you and give you that acceptance that you're looking for.
Yeah, I remember you and I at an event. We did it in a group setting. I did it at another.
Memphis. Yeah.
I remember doing it at another group setting in Texas. But that picture that I showed, and this guy was just larger than life. Larger. Yeah. This picture here was right after Boone asked me to do it with him. We were doing a live. I'll never forget it, and that's why I made it that much more special. on it. Doc, I know you got to run, but and I appreciate you coming on and
Thank you.
talking about a brother who is going to be missed.
So I'm going to say this too, and we hear this a lot of times too, is that I can promise you, knowing Boone as well as I knew him and for as long as I've known him, that Boone would not want anybody crying or being hurt or being upset about this. Boone would want you to pick up and move on.
Yep.
Remember him, honor his legacy by doing something to benefit the Warfighter family, right?
Let me go on and say this too. If you
Yeah.
didn't have the opportunity to know Boone, look him up and just a
He's everywhere.
he really is, but he was a fascinating individual.
Yeah.
And I thank the Lord that I had the opportunity to know him. And I'm blessed that I got to meet him and be a part of having be a part of my life. So as my lighting fixtures are falling down right now. So but Doc, we'll let you run. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for jumping on this morning.
Love you, bro. And like I said, anybody, if you took it and you don't have anybody in your circle, reach out to Adam, reach out to me.
If you're watching this, leave a comment below.
I'll come back to it.
Yeah, please, and then and we'll go from there. But Doc, we'll let you run, brother, and I'll be in touch soon. All right.
All right. Strength and honor.
Thanks, brother. All right, guys. I apologize here. My light fixture fell down, so it's going to be even darker than before. But we're going to move on. So, Boone Cutler. Thanks, brother. We'll take it from here. I'm not going to get into news topics this week. I got some other stuff that we could, but I really want to honor that. And I do need to mention this. Rich LaMonica informed me that Halo went down with 4 members on board on Thursday. More heroes. It's just one of those weeks where it's. Ken, good morning, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it. T-Dog, are the lights cursed? They must be today, man. They must be today. Let's move on. I got a couple of announcements tomorrow. Listen, tomorrow we're gonna be up at West Point. West Point takes on North Texas. You can catch the game on CBS Sports. So look for this ugly mug. Maybe I'll be on the old TV there, or you can follow us on our X or Twitter handle, Heroes Media GRP. Kickoff is at noon tomorrow. We'll be up there. More coming out of West Point. I want to bring this up. You've heard me mention this young man's name before, Larry Pickett Jr. He's nominated for the 2025 Capital One Orange Bowl FWAA Courage Award. Larry Pickett Jr. is the first weekly nomination for the 2025 Capital One Orange Bowl Courage Award. Pickett's a sophomore safety. He rescued a man from a burning car earlier this season. I brought that up like a week or two ago. So pretty cool stuff. Follow us for more on the West Point stuff. David, good morning, brother. Appreciate you jumping on. If you just jumping on, you missed a good one. Hit the replay and watch the beginning. Next week, I will be in Charlotte, North Carolina for the Empowered Podcasting event. So next week, we will not be in the home studio. We'll have a different background. We'll be down in Charlotte, so stay tuned for that. New hero stories. Given the week that it's been, I think our hero stories are the people that we mentioned earlier. The 3 law enforcement officers that lost their lives earlier this week on Wednesday, 10 miles from here, in that shootout. Boone Cutler, hands down, community hero through and through. So that's what we're going to say right there. We got a new show coming. So some good news. Let's end it on a positive before we get into the shows for the week. We have a new show coming to HMG at the first of the month. It's Let's Talk All Things VA with Coach Marcia. It's a podcast built for veterans who are tired of the runaround, the denials, the silence. Powered by Heroes Media Group, this show cuts through the red tape and brings you real answers about discharge upgrades, disability claims, mental health, and life after service. So stay tuned for that. We're excited. This is our 11th show this year here at Heroes Media Group. We have had such an amazing year of growth with new shows, and I thank all of you that tune in each week to watch. But certainly thank all the great podcast hosts that are part of the HMG family, and we've got a couple of more that are talking that we're in talks with. So this has already been a record-breaking year for us. So we are super stoked and blessed for that. So I'm going to get into the shows of what you missed this week because I'm on a time crunch. I got to get on the road. And like I said, guys, I'm glad, Doc hit me up. I don't know, probably about 10, 15 minutes before I was going to do the show and asked me if I wanted him to come on. And I'm glad he did because I was this close to just canceling the show this morning. And I'm glad I didn't. So happy to be here. All right, let's dive into the shows this week. She-Bird the Vibe. This week's episode, this is their second episode. This is a new show to HMG. She-Bird the Vibe, Her Laugh, My Heart. We celebrate everyday joys of keeping us grounded, lifted, and connected. From laughter that echoes through generations of small self-care rituals that restore our spirit. They unpack the joys that show up in our lives each and every day. This is a mother-daughter combo show. They're absolutely amazing, and they're funny as hell. Check them out. She-Bird the Vibe. Don't forget, guys, you can check out all the podcast shows. Go to heroesmediagroup.com, click on podcasts, and you'll see a list of the directory of the shows that we have there. Make sure you follow them on their social platforms because sometimes they'll do impromptu lives and stuff like that. You don't want to miss it. They've got a lot of great shows. JMac podcast. This week, he speaks with Navy veteran Nicole Prague. She's a veteran advocate with Azura Vets, and she's the host of Defender's Den podcast. Good episode. Check it out. Next up, we have Vet SOS podcast. They've got 4 shows under their Vet SOS, and I did not highlight this, so give me just a second because I can't read any of it. I'm getting to that point in my life where there we go. Their show's Military Transition Resource Show. Transition isn't a solo mission. That is for sure. It's a team effort. Check that out. That was this week. Veteran Entrepreneur Spotlight. Rich Holly opens up about building resilience and pursuing purpose as a veteran business leader. Great episode. Check that one out. Veteran Educational Resource Spotlight. Education unlocks doors veterans didn't even know that were there. So true. And then last but not least, The Scoop. Real change begins when veterans see their own strength. Absolutely true as well. Vet SOS podcast. Again, they got 4 shows, 4 episodes out for you this week, so make sure you go check them out. Double S podcast with our man Gene Campbell this week. An emotional roller coaster, to say the least. Yeah, I'd say that. They talk about the amazing benefit tournament that happened, a great weekend coming up, and then they'll do their best to unpack a dark week and an uncertain future. Double S podcast, you could check them live. They're on Sunday nights here on HMG's Facebook page. If you go to the HMG Facebook page, whatever platform you're watching from right now, or you can go to Double S podcast on YouTube and watch them live. Unapologetic Veterans, they're coming back. They got some stuff coming up here soon, so stand by for that. What do we got here? The Disgruntled PM. The T-Dog, I believe this is your show. Isaac Lewis, co-founder of Anacor Training, a revolutionary fitness equipment company that specializes in compact cable machines, shares his journey from creating the first device From the initial idea sparked by personal injury and challenges of design, testing, and scaling production, then the discussion gets into unique features of the products and their adaptation into major sports leagues, and then they implemented the strategies for global distribution. If you're a project manager or manager, this is a show that you definitely, it's probably one of the fastest growing shows in project management industry in the world right now. And this is a great show, very highly sought after. The Disgruntled PM, check it out. Next up, we got the Strategic Veteran. This week, what if the thing you think you want, a dream franchise, is the very thing that will eat your nights, your weekends, and your sanity? Well, if that's the right fit, one that feels boring on paper but quietly prints freedom. Kim Woods was the special guest this week. Has spent 2 decades in the trenches of franchising, turning ambition into action for people who don't want a boss anymore. She's a Navy veteran, relationship builder, franchise development lead at Clear Pest Pros within Belfour Franchise Group. Kim speaks in straight lines, proven systems, honest screening, and grit over hype. If you've ever thought about purchasing a franchise, this is the episode you want to listen to. The Strategic Veteran, check it out. Homefront Sit Rep podcast is next. They got Jim Board. He's more than just an entrepreneur. He's a soldier turned builder of hope. This was such an amazing episode. He's an Army veteran, no nonsense approach. Jim made it his mission to transform lives through the power of housing. Stay with me here. As the founder of Shelton Housing First, he has personally launched more than 14 recovery homes in just 2 years, with another 8 already in motion. Each home represents more than brick and mortar. It's a second chance, a safe place, and a fresh start for people rebuilding their lives. This was a really cool episode. It's called the Homefront Sipret podcast. Senior Living Guide.com. New episode out. Dr. Gina. I can't pronounce her last name, so it's Dr. Gina today. Founder and CEO of Carte Medical, Dr. Gina shares invaluable insights on how seniors can become active participants in their medical care, from communicating effectively with doctors and understanding nuances of personalized medicine. When I was doing this show, we produced this show, this was one of those things where it's like getting the senior to really ask questions. A lot of people, when they go to their doctors, they don't ask questions. And if you got family members that are taking care of the seniors or whatnot, they want questions. Ask the questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Great episode. SeniorLivingGuide.com. Shay Sparks. The Shay Sparks Show was back this week. From rock bottom to rejuvenation, a journey through transition, healing, and AI with our man, Adam Peters. Here's something we don't talk about enough: the overwhelming challenge of transitioning from the military life to civilian identity. How to navigate the system that throws resources at you without real guidance, which leads to confusion, loss of purpose, and even despair. Adam takes us on a journey from hitting rock bottom to discovering plant medicine. Adam is one of those. I just saw David's Let's Go Seniors. I'm putting that up there. Adam Peters is a great human being, a good friend, and has a hell of a story. I've been blessed to know him, I don't know, probably about a year now, and just a solid dude. He's huge on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, if you look up Adam Peters, the guy is just a force to be reckoned with. There, he is done you've heard me talk about the plant-based trips down to Peru. That's him. That's Adam. Great guy, great story. Check it out. The Shay Sparks Show. Oh, what do we got next? Patriots Inside the Wire, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, with the Two Step Foundation gave out their first award last week in Baton Rouge, which was awesome. Tracy's got several shows coming up. She did a live last night, and they have a gala coming up. So make sure you follow that, Patriots Inside the Wire, or you can follow the Two Step Tribe on social media. Arms Room Show. This week, they got Martin in the studio discussing grid down communications. I can't read. That's fine. Grid down communications and disaster radio networks. How many of you take a radio out into, like, if you're hiking, take a radio with you, like a two-way radio or like a ham radio? I do, especially in areas that I've never been in before. I take a radio with. This is a show that, again, you guys hear me say this every week about the Arms Room Show, but this is one of those shows where you really need to pay attention. You're going to learn a lot, especially you guys out west. If you guys are hiking, take a radio with you. All right, a couple more. Stay with me, guys. And then I got an announcement. Misfit Nation podcast this week. Rich LaMonica, he was on here earlier, sits down with Susan Snow, a trauma resilience coach, speaker, author of The Other Side of the Gun. Susan's life changed forever on Halloween night, 1985, when her father, LAPD detective Thomas C. Williams, was ambushed and killed in the line of duty. The loss that thrust her family into a very public grief and long-time trauma. Decades later, she shares her journey, of transformation from victimhood to resilience, from grief to forgiveness. Great episode on this one. Misfit Nation podcast, and they do a couple of episodes a week, so make sure you check them out. Label Free podcast is next. This week, Patricia Stepler, the founder of Creating Top Producers, a platform dedicated to helping entrepreneurs and business leaders master their mindset, boost productivity, and achieve both time and financial freedom. Great episode. Check it out. Label Free. We got your 6 at 6 with the People's Patriot Project every Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be lost. It's up to you. I just made that up. Check them out, though. They do a roundtable every Sunday night. Great show. People's Patriot Project. Other side of the firewall. This week, Ryan and Shannon discuss various cybersecurity topics. Get this, including the alarming trend of children hacking their schools. Let me ask you guys a question, parents. If you got a phone call, it said that your kid had hacked into the school system, would you be pissed off? Oh, that's what they're talking about. Other side of the firewall. Check it out. This week, MSEC podcast is back. They're talking about building connections for growth. Quote, connections are at the heart of growth, end quote. That was by Dr. Brent Wolf, school principal and lifelong educator, discusses the importance of meaningful connections in building relationships. Connecting with students, parents, and educators creates a true foundation for growth. Absolutely. Absolutely. What do we have here? We got a comment here. T-Dog, I'd applaud my kid and ask for I'd applaud my kid and ask for lessons. Yeah, I hear you. Racket, I see you over there on the Instagram. Thank you. Appreciate you. Transform University. Rita, I believe that's you. Good morning. How are you? Next up, we got last one of the week for this week is Chasing Happiness. Faith in a world that feels like it's burning. When another person was killed over words, when it feels like the world is tearing itself apart, and when your own storm is raging inside, where does faith go? Great question. And he's got some great answers on this episode called Chasing Happiness. Check it out. Shout out to From the Farm, Forget Genetics, veteran owned. My Tax Fella. Go check out all of these sponsors for HMG. These are supporters of the networks. They're absolutely phenomenal organizations. Forget Genetics, Jim Neary's Live Bait and Tackle, Warriors on the Water. the Freedom People, Fin Tactical, VA Claim Builder, and last but certainly not least, HMG Beverage. If you are a company that's out there and you're looking to sponsor us, we're starting to look for sponsors in 2026. If you'd like to get involved in some form or fashion with HMG of 2026, drop me a comment below. Let's reach out. David, I could go on better than just hacking. Oh? I'm afraid to ask David. Listen, guys. Yeah, I'm glad I did the show today. It was tough. It's been a tough week. But like, if you caught the beginning of the show, it was like what Doc said. I'm so glad they're all graduated. Yeah. I hear you, David. Guys, this is a reminder. Just stay with me here real quick. September Suicide Prevention Month. Check on your battle buddies. All right. I could say thoughts and prayers to our community heroes this week. And it is just a tough week with the shootings that happened here near where I'm sitting right now with law enforcement. Big hit there, and then big hit in the veteran warfighter community with our friend brother Boone Cutler. But like Doc said, he would not want us to shed tears. He wants us to pick up and keep moving on. With that being said, remember this weekend, shut this stuff off. As Boone would say, protect your minds. Get off the computers, watch what it is that you're consuming. Don't get emotionally involved with that kind of crap that you see on mainstream media. Get out in nature this weekend. Don't get the 45-degree syndrome. And if you do get the 45-degree syndrome, then follow us on the X or Twitter platform, because I'll be up in the press box tomorrow at the Army North Texas game. And if you guys need anything, send us a DM or leave a comment. Hey, reach out, and I will reach out to you, and we'll set up a call. But like I said, protect your mind. Call your battle buddies this weekend. And next week, we will be in Charlotte, North Carolina. So until then, God bless you. God bless America. I love you all. Have a great week.